Good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Lifescape Premier's Healthy Kitchens, Healthy Lives cooking class. Thank you for joining me. My name is Dana, and I'm the functional dietitian at Lifescape. For those of you that know me and have been to my classes, you know that we're in for a lovely time together this morning. And for those of you that are new, welcome. So happy to have you join us. And today we're going to be making a really simple but yet very impactful, nutritionally impactful dish. And we're going to be doing a salad, which is perfect for this hot time of year. Easy to put together and assemble, won't heat up your kitchen. And it's something that I want you to all think about as a suggestion in terms of the ingredient list. And I'll give you some more insight into what I mean by that in a few minutes. But before we start, I always like to take a few minutes to ground and share something. And so what comes to mind for me today is I was out early this morning riding my bike, which is one of my absolutely favorite things to do. And as I was riding down a nice quiet street, I saw these little furry figures up ahead of me. And as I got closer and closer, I saw they were two adolescent bunnies hopping over each other and running in circles and playing. And I thought, you know, what a great reminder to just take joy in the simple things in life right now and stay present in the moment and focused. So that's what we're going to do in the kitchen together. And for those of you that are cooking along, send me photos later of your creation or how you made variations of it. So with that being said, let's get started. We're going to do it a little bit differently than you may think, and that's because I want to start off making the dressing first, not last, where we think of dressing the salad the last minute. But I want to do the dressing first because I want to coat the greens. And so as I mentioned, we're making a strawberry, fennel, and arugula salad, and I'm going to highlight some of those ingredients and why they're so great for us. And then we're going to do a homemade lemon balsamic vinaigrette. So easy, so simple, so crisp. And this could even be made in a bigger batch. And then you could marinate chicken or fish in it for a short time and use it in different ways. So it's up to you how once you like this, then you can find other uses for it. So what I want to do is start off with a tool that some of you may or may not be familiar with. This is a lemon zester. Or a zester, I should say. We're going to do lemon in particular. And so I've already washed the lemon, but I'm just keeping it whole, and then we'll squeeze the juice out of it for the dressing. So I'm just going to take the rough end of the grate and go back and forth on this a few times. And this is really lovely to do with oranges or limes, and it smells fantastic. And it's really worth the effort. It's not hard to do at all. It makes your kitchen smell really good, or anywhere that you're at, which would be not my kitchen right now, but Lifescape. And you can just work your way around the edges of the lemon. We're looking for, in this recipe, half a teaspoon of it, which isn't really that much. I've easily got that here. And so you can see a lot of it is in the grate on the other side. And so I'm just going to use my tool here and put it into my bowl. And this is like the secret ingredient of the dressing. So if you can make this happen, I recommend you do so. And if you can't, that's okay. But it's really a fun addition and so easy to do. So you can see this here. This is amazing smell. It's like being in a lemon grove tree, a grove of lemon trees. So that's going to be the start of the dressing. And then we're going to add in the balsamic. And this is just a traditional organic balsamic vinegar. It's organic, and it's the Sprouts brand because they have a lot of their own brands now for things. And so you can choose whatever balsamic you want. And then I'm just going to add, it says 2 tablespoons. And if you want to make a little more, feel free to add 3 of those if you want to increase it a little bit. And then we're going to add olive oil. So this is the organic extra virgin olive oil. And I recommend this for salad dressings. When you're cooking with olive oil, you want to be really careful that it's not at a high heat because it will start to smoke. And anytime an oil smokes, it's damaged, and it's essentially a trans fat, which is bad for us and can raise our bad cholesterol levels. So consider that your dipping sauce and your cold salads. So equal parts in here, we're going to do actually a little bit more of the olive oil to dress the salad. So I'm just adding that to the bowl. I'll show you in a minute. And then just some organic ground black pepper. You can do that to taste. And then some pink Himalayan salt. And I really like the pink salt because it's rich in minerals and it's naturally pink. There's no dyes to make it white. There's no anti-caking agents to keep it from sticking together. Just real pure salt. For those of you who are concerned about salt, it's not necessarily this salt that I'm worried about. It's the salt in processed food that makes us struggle a bit. Okay, so then we have our lemon, and you can see where I've borrowed the top of it for the zest. And then I'm just going to take a knife and slice it in half. And then using this other favorite tool of mine, the citrus squeeze, we're just going to find the container, the portion that's good for the lemon, and place it in there, pull it together, and then squeeze the juice into the bowl. I'm going to show you that in a second. And that's 2 tablespoons. If you like it a little more lemony, which is always nice, and there's not that big of a lemon, just go ahead and use the other part too. And so I'm squeezing that into the dish as well. And then you can pull that aside. I'm going to add just a smidge more olive oil because I can see that I'm going to need it. Okay, and then this is easy. You just take your bowl and just whisk together the ingredients with a fork or an actual whisk if you have one on hand. Some people have sets of whisks, so there's different sizes. And this gives it a ability to emulsify or have the fat and the water-soluble ingredients come together. And I want to make a point of this that we have in the base of the salad today, we have arugula, and arugula is part of the brassica family of vegetables. So that lives alongside cauliflower and broccoli and Brussels sprouts, and all of those vegetables provide our bodies with a really fantastic tool. It's sulfur to help us detoxify. And they're also rich in other nutrients too. The arugula in particular is a good source of vitamin A, K, and C. And I want to call out the A and the K as fat-soluble vitamins. If we don't eat fat at the same time we have a fat-soluble vitamin present, it's not easily absorbed by the body. So don't skimp out on your dressing. This is a really valuable part of the whole salad piece. And so arugula, we'll pause and talk about that for a minute. I've got a big bowl of it here, as you can see. And this is just organic arugula that's been pre-washed. So all I had to do was just take some handfuls and put the amount that I wanted in my bowl. And arugula is also called rocket. If those of you have heard that name, it's salad rocket, that's more English. And then you can also see it sometimes called Italian cress. So it has multiple names, but it all looks the same. It's the same ingredient. And the fiber and the phytochemicals and the folate and the vitamin C make this a really fantastic alternative to just regular salad greens, and have a little bit of a spiciness to them too. And that's perfect for today's salad because we're going to be pairing that spicy, a little bit of spicy salad green with the mellowness of the strawberries and then the sweetness and tartness of the balsamic vinegar. So with that being said, let's dress the salad now. This is a tip I learned from a really fabulous chef I used to work with, and he taught me a lot about the culinary stuff, and I taught him a lot about the nutrition side. So it's a really symbiotic relationship, and I'm grateful for him having been in my life. So I'm just whipping this together just a little bit more and pouring it over the greens. And that way we have a chance to let the greens coat a little bit in the dressing. And then I'm just going to toss it all together to give it a final presentation. And this is the key to having a fabulous salad, is getting the greens coated, especially when they're in that brassica family, like collard greens. They're a little more robust, if you want to say, or substantial. And so they can take the dressing and absorb it for a little bit in order to soften and mellow out. Okay, so tossing it, and let me show you what we've got over here. So just a nicely dressed salad. And honestly, if this is all you want to do for salad, fine, that's perfect. You can just throw a little bit of seeds or nuts on top. You could throw some fresh microgreens on top. You can call this your salad. There's enough nutrients in the arugula themselves that it's going to work for you. But we're going to go a little bit farther, take a little extra couple steps. And so one of the things then we're adding that you may not be as familiar with is fennel. So here's a intact fennel, and this is part of the licorice family, so it has a little bit of a sweetness to it. It's considered a culinary herb as well as a medicinal plant. So I love that, and when something has multiple benefits, that's a great way to go. And so you can see on the end that this is where it was attached to the plant. And so you want to cut that end off and then just make nice slices, even slices like you're slicing a tomato, and then lay those slices down and then rough chop in one direction, crisscross, rough chop in the other, and then you've got the fennel that you're looking for. And so let me show you what that looks like once it's all done. And with salads, we really like a salad that has a uniform texture. And so everything in this salad is going to be this shape and size, because we eat partially too by shape and size. And it also helps coat everything evenly if it's the same size. So the fennel, let's just talk about that for a few more minutes. It's a really fantastic addition to salads or stir fries or soup or whatever fancies you. Or you fancy. It's an antioxidant, it's anti-inflammatory, it's antibacterial, and for those ladies out there, maybe those men too, it helps relieve menopausal symptoms. Some of the phytonutrients in there have been studied to do that, so it helps relieve hot flashes, headaches, other undesirable effects associated with menopause. So that's an interesting step, and it's also rich in vitamin C and quercetin. We've been hearing a lot about quercetin in the news and on some of our other Facebook Lives as something to help keep the viral load under control, and that tampers down inflammation. So I'm just going to sprinkle this chopped up fennel into the salad and take my tongs. So you can see it's here, and just mix it a little bit in. And for those of you who know, when I make a salad, it's robust. The lettuce is equally met by the other ingredients in the salad. It's not lettuce with a few pieces of fennel, it's fennel with a few pieces of lettuce. And so we're off to a good start there. And then the next thing I wanted to do is add in a little sweetness. And this is natural sweetness. We didn't have to put any sugar in the dressing, honey, or maple syrup. We could, if we wanted to, it'd be okay. But this is the season for berries, and the strawberries are particularly fantastic right now. As I said earlier in the broadcast, this is a suggestion. The recipe is a template. It's a suggestion or an invitation for you to look in your refrigerator and see what you currently have and what you want to use up, or how you want to create this. And so the recipe calls for strawberries, but I have been using sliced peaches recently in my salads and really enjoying that. You can also use any of the other berries. All of the berries are antioxidant rich and low in sugar and high in fiber. So even for those of you who are watching your blood sugars or helping others that you live with watch theirs, this is a great addition. And so just going to put this in here. And when I was cutting these strawberries, I'll share with you, I was singing a little bit to myself, just some tune that I'd heard earlier today. And I want to remind you that the energy that you bring into the kitchen and that you cook with comes into the food. And so I put a lot of happiness into cutting these strawberries, and they all came out beautifully. So far we're really building into a beautiful looking salad. We've got the arugula, the beautiful dressing, lemony vinaigrette, fennel, and strawberries. And then to top it off, I'm going to add some cilantro. I know the recipe says mint, but I decided to switch to cilantro because it really was speaking to me in the store, just so fresh and smelled so good. And so just a quick note for you is when you have the cilantro, you want to take the bunch that you're going to use and rinse it off so there's no dirt in it. And then think of it as hair, and you can put it down on the cutting board and then just start chopping it like this. And when you get closer to the ends, if you don't want the stems, you can eat them, but they're not as enjoyable. You can just start shaving it like that. So, and then when it's all wet, you can just take a paper towel and just kind of, nestle it like you would if you had a little child coming out of the shower and you just wanted to dry them off and give them some love. So give your cilantro some love. And then once you chop it all up, it looks like this, and you want to add that onto your salad. I personally love cilantro, so I put a fair amount on there. This also smells really good, really fresh and fragrant and sweet. Some people have an aversion to cilantro, and it's just genetic. They really can't help it. That tastes like dirt to them, and it probably won't ever change. So they're going to be the ones you want to put mint on this salad for, which is fine too. And then the last thing is you want to add a little bit of protein or some crunch. And so what we're going to do is, it calls for almonds in the recipe, but I switched that on purpose. I'm going to use pepitas, or green pumpkin seeds. And the green pumpkin seeds are one of my favorites because I call them nature's antidepressant. The reason why is because they're rich in magnesium. And magnesium helps support mood and relaxation. Taking magnesium before bed can help you sleep better. Magnesium, the certain forms of magnesium can also help relieve constipation, if that's a concern. It also is a really important nutrient in managing blood sugar, blood pressure, and keeping bones healthy. So there's really no reason not to have it, and I wanted to use this as an opportunity to sneak in all that good stuff for you. And so you can just sprinkle some of the pumpkin seeds, and these are just raw organic pumpkin seeds. If you want, you can saute them on your own in a skillet, a dry skillet. Pardon me. And toast them a little bit, which will make them sweeter, and that may enhance the salad even further. But you don't have to. If you don't want to warm anything up or take another pot out, you're good. And so now we have a really beautiful, easy salad. So you can see what that looks like. And you can toss it a little bit if you want to mix the ingredients and get the dressing in there. And this is a standalone salad by itself, meaning if you want this to be your main meal, you can. And then I would probably just add another nut to it, maybe some walnuts or some almonds. And that could be a beautiful summer meal in the middle of the day. Or you can pair this with other proteins. Salmon comes to mind, chicken, fish, anything light, and that would complement the citrus in the salad. All of that would be fantastic. And then here's the final thing I wanted to share with you, which came to me last night when I was eating. And I brought this in to show you. I've got some cilantro in here. So these are the bowls that I use to eat from at home when I make salad. And this was actually a gift to me from a very good friend. And he purchased this at IKEA. And I am in love with this bowl because it's the perfect size for a really generous portion of salad. And so what you can do is build your salad based on your bowl size. And I want you to think about it this way. This is the normal salad bowl, and this is the suggested salad bowl size. So if you're just eating this much salad, that's okay. But if you eat this much salad, it's fantastic. So I wanted to share that with you. And then you'll find that this bowl lends itself to many other dishes and foods too. A lot of times I'm having people make like Buddha bowls where they do some sauteed greens, some protein, maybe some sweet potato or buckwheat or quinoa, and do a dish like that. So if you're interested in trying this technique out to really enhance your salad consumption, I vote for it because it's really helped me a lot, and it's easy to clean and fantastic. So with that being said, we've put together the whole recipe in no time at all, and I wanted you to keep in mind that this is a really important time in general for us to all nourish ourselves and take care of ourselves. And I've been meeting with patients regularly, and I'm so impressed with everybody's willingness and desire to address things that have not been addressed for them prior and make a difference, because taking care of yourself is the cornerstone of taking care of the rest of us. So I don't see any questions right now, but if you have any, you can post them on the site and we'll try to get back to you as soon as possible. In the meantime, if I can help anyone or support anyone, I am here at Lifescape full-time and happy to do so. Just reach out and we'll connect and figure it out. In the meantime, enjoy your salads, enjoy experimenting, and I look forward to connecting with you again on the next Healthy Kitchens, Healthy Lives class. Until then, be well.